All right, let's get into it. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on marketing to see how those truly great campaigns actually get made. And spoiler alert, it's not magic, it's a blueprint. We're going to unpack how brands go from just an idea to something that really grabs our attention. So, yeah, let's dive in. No, really, think about it. There's probably an ad you saw maybe years ago that you can still picture perfectly. What was it? Was it hilarious? Did it make you tear up? Whatever it was that made it stick, I promise you, there was a powerful strategy behind that magic. I mean, we are just bombarded, right? Every single day, thousands of messages are flying at us on our phones, on TV, on billboards. It is everywhere. So the number one job for any brand, whether they're B2B or B2C, is figuring out how to cut through all of that noise and actually connect. Look, a clever ad is great, but that alone isn't the secret sauce. The real magic is having a plan, a solid foundation. The best marketing isn't just about throwing creative ideas at a wall and hoping something sticks. Nope. It's built piece by piece, following a very specific blueprint. And that's what we're going to walk through today. So here's our game plan. We'll start with the 6M blueprint itself. Then we'll break it down into its three main phases: strategic intent, strategic implementation, and finally, strategic impact, which is all about measuring success. So what is this master plan? It's called the 6M model of marketing communications, and you can just think of it as the ultimate checklist for marketers. It makes sure that you're not just being creative, but that you're being creative in a way that actually works. Now, this diagram, and you'll see it here in its original Spanish, is awesome because it makes a really complex process seem simple. It breaks the whole thing down into three logical stages. First up, strategic intent. That's where you figure out what you want to do. Then you've got strategic implementation, which is all about how you're going to do it. And finally, strategic impact, which is basically asking, so, did it work? Let's jump into that first phase. Okay, phase one, strategic intent. This is the foundation for everything. I mean, before you can even dream up a funny commercial or a catchy jingle, you have to answer two huge questions. Why are we even doing this? And who are we talking to? The first M is mission. And let's be clear, this is not some fluffy, vague corporate statement on a wall somewhere. It is a specific, measurable goal. Are you just trying to let people know a new product exists? Or are you trying to get them to actually go out and buy it today? That mission defines the entire job. And to get that mission right, marketers love to use this classic model called the hierarchy of effects. It's basically a map of the customer's journey. You'll see the words for them on this funnel here. First, you have to make the customer think, build awareness. Then you make them feel something about your brand, create that connection. And finally, you get them to do something, like actually buy it. Think, feel, do. And this table, yeah, it's a little busy, but it shows you exactly how this works in the real world. So to make you think about a problem, like, hey, I'm starving on this road trip, a big Taco Bell billboard does the job perfectly. Then to help you feel good about your choices, a sales rep at a Clinique counter can help. And to get you to do it, that little in-store display right at the checkout is often the final nudge you need. All right, the second M is market. So you've got your mission. Now, who are you talking to? And this is so much more than just demographics, women aged 18 to 34. It's about what they care about, where they hang out online, what their problems are. The better you know your market, the better your message is going to land. And this slide shows there are a few ways to slice it. You can go for mass marketing, right? Like Pepsi sending one big message to everybody. Or you can be a little smarter and target a specific segment of the market. It can even get down to one-to-one messaging. But honestly, the holy grail these days is often consumer to consumer, getting your most passionate fans to tell your story for you. Okay, so our why and our who are locked in. Now we get to move into phase two, strategic implementation. This is the fun part. This is where the plan becomes a story and we figure out where we're going to tell it. So the third M is the message. This is where you take your product's features and benefits and you wrap them up in a story that people actually care about. The best ads aren't really ads at all, are they? They're stories with characters, a plot, and usually a little bit of conflict. And speaking of conflict, remember this Taco Bell ad. They didn't just say, hey, we have breakfast now. No way. They created this whole crazy story about escaping a boring breakfast world run by evil clowns. It was a pretty clear shot at McDonald's, right? And it was so memorable because the story made the point. Next up, our fourth M, media. You could have the greatest story in the world, but if you tell it in an empty forest, it doesn't matter. This step is all about choosing the right channels. balancing TV with TikTok, podcasts with print ads to get your message in front of your market. Now, a really key decision here is whether to use a push or a pull strategy. A push strategy is all about convincing the stores, the retailers, to stock and promote your product. But a pull strategy, that targets you, the customer. Think about a massive Super Bowl ad. The goal there is to create so much hype that you walk into the store demanding the product. That's pull. And that brings us to the final phase, strategic impact. This is where the rubber really meets the road. It's all about putting a budget behind the campaign and, most importantly, proving that the money you spent was worth it. The fifth M is money. Simple enough, right? Every campaign needs a budget, but a good budget isn't just a number you guess it. It has to be tied directly to the mission you set way back in the beginning and the media choices you just made. See how it all connects? So how do you set a budget that's not just a wild guess? Well, the smartest way is a method called objective and task. You basically work backward from your goal. You start by saying, okay, our mission is to get 5% of the market. Then you figure out how many people you need to reach and how many times to make that happen. Add it all up and boom, there's your budget. The spending is directly linked to the goal. Which brings us to our sixth and final M, measurement. After all is said and done, after the campaign is over, you have to ask the most important question in business. Did it work? This is all about tracking the results and proving you got a good return on your investment. Because that's the bottom line, isn't it? The whole goal of measurement is to understand the financial impact. Did this awesome, creative, emotional story actually make the company money? The key metric for that is return on investment, or ROI. Now, here's the formula, and don't worry, it's simpler than it looks. You basically just take the extra profit you made from the campaign, subtract what you spent on it, and then divide that by how much you spent. If that final number is positive, hey, congratulations! Your campaign actually made more money than it cost. That is the definition of success. So there you have it, the 6M blueprint that turns a creative idea into a real strategy. Mission, market, message, media, money, and measurement. Now that you have the framework, start looking for it. Which brands do you see just nailing this blueprint in ads you see every single day? It'll change how you see everything. Thanks for watching.